A new book is released with perfect timing because it's Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Today, we're talking to an author and activist who wrote Beautiful People, My 13 Truths About Disability. Melissa Blake shares her thoughts on everything from ableism to social media and representation. And she joins us now from DeKalb. Thank you for being here.
Well, hi, thank you so much for having me.
So let's set the tone so people know. I think we need to tell them about the disorder you were born with and how it impacts you.
Well, I was born with something called Freeman syndrome, which is a genetic bone and muscular disorder. And I've had roughly 25 surgeries to correct joint contractures, scoliosis, a brainstem compression. So basically, my entire childhood was spent in the hospital, in Chicago and going to doctor's appointments. And that really informed a lot of who I am and who I became.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you went through a lot, but really, I think some of the people you've had to deal with may have been even more than that. So we'll move forward. You're a freelance writer now, very successful, sometimes maybe making some controversial comments, but all anyone can talk about when they're making comments is your appearance.
Exactly. And, this trajectory I'm on now really started in 2019 after I had a viral tweet after a troll online, said that I should not be posting pictures of myself because I'm so ugly. And I really thought that was something I wanted to address because they were responding to something I had written in op-ed. And they didn't critique anything about what I wrote, but they just, took digs at my appearance.
Yeah, because they were ugly inside, right?
Yeah, well, and so many disabled people go through this people making comments about our appearance and mocking our appearance, and I'm not the only one that experiences this. So I wanted to make a larger statement about what that does to people and really the effects that other people's words have, in the long run.
I think a lot of people can relate to that as it relates to social media. And you talk a bit about the dangers of social media. You've experienced perhaps the worst of it for more than a decade, but your voice remains really strong. What's your advice to others?
I think it's important to realize that so much of what other people say about you is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of either their own insecurities or their own issues that they're going through. That's not to say that that it's okay for them to say that, but I think if you look at it from the perspective of it's not about you, and you can kind of remove yourself from this, equation, as hard as it may be, that goes a long way. And also, taking social media breaks when you need to. There's nothing wrong with stepping back, even if it's just for a day. And I do that a lot as well. If it gets to be too much, I kind of take a step back.
That is great advice. All right, I want to talk about the word disabled. Even as I was beginning to read the book and coming up with questions, I thought, oh, should I use that word? But by page 14, you told me your feelings that some may not agree with. Tell me about the word disabled.
The word, for some reason, the word disabled has taken on such a negative connotation in our society to the point where it makes people uncomfortable. And the disability community is really taking back the word, that it is not a bad word. Disabled, it's basically just, describing a state of being. It's just like if I were to say I have red hair, that's just a fact. And I am disabled is also, it just describes, my state of being. And I think if we can get to a place where we're not uncomfortable to say the word disabled, we can start to address so many other things as it relates to disability, like accessibility, and, equal access and so many other things. But you have to start with that foundation of realizing that there's nothing shameful or, awful about the word disabled.
Yeah, and I think you give us our marching orders in the chapter that's called Disabled and Beautiful Belong in the Same Sentence. Amen to that. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for writing the book. It's called Beautiful People, My 13 Truths About Disability. You can check out social media or more or visit melissablakeblog.com.